guys, so a lot of my friends and family ask me all the time about eating because I guess they put me in the label of vegan, which is cool, but I would say I'm more of just a picky eater, and I have really dumb sensitive skin, so I don't eat a lot of things because I just don't feel like dealing with the issues. So I'm going to show you a really quick and easy recipe to make sandwiches. I make lunches for my kids every day, and you know, you can't make so many peanut butter sandwiches, almond butter sandwiches. So this is a great recipe. I call it the vegan tuna, but you can call it a chickpea salad. And let's get to it.
So here's all the goodies. The only reason I use canned beans in this is because they're already softened. You don't want to cook the chickpeas because you don't want them too soft, but you want them soft enough to mash. So this is why you use canned beans. Rinse them thoroughly. So make sure you chop your produce very well. Let's do that together. So we're gonna start chopping our vegetables. I take about maybe 3 to 5 celery stalks, and you just, of course, you're gonna cut off the tops and ends. Don't throw those away because you can use those for your vegetable broth when you're making soups. I don't throw anything away. I put them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, in the freezer, and then you can freeze all the pieces and then boil the crap out of them to make your vegetable stock or soups or, you know, whatever you're kind of doing. So again, I'm not a chef, so don't start critiquing my cutting because look, we eat, we doing good stuff. But you want to chop the celery pretty thin. I don't know how they do these cooking shows. I guess you gotta make up stuff to talk about like you're chopping. Otherwise you look kind of crazy, I guess. You're just like sitting here as a silent person chopping things. So here's my rambling. You can always join me at the studio for a yoga class. Check us out at breatheva.com, or if you're interested in Gypsy Yoga Mama training, you can visit my website at briannasyoga.com. We have 2 trainings coming up. I'm actually doing one in Raleigh at a friend of mine's studio called Colors of Yoga. Check her out here in Raleigh. It's Black owned as well. And then we're going to be doing it in my studio. So there's my rant. So you see the celery is chopped. You got to get your bowl. So big bowl. Make sure you rinse it, you know, whatever. And then you're just gonna toss that all in a bowl. And then we're gonna chop our onion. So I use about half an onion. If it was just me eating it, I'd probably use the whole thing, but my family acts like sometimes onions are a lot. So, you know, just chop about half of an onion. And again, don't throw these pieces away. Put them in a bag in the freezer, and I'll show you my little bag. So that you can have you some vegetable broth, homemade vegetable broth. Anything that can save me from going to the store to buy it, I'm about that life. My little person is here investigating.
Hi.
And then you're going to put that in the bowl as well. And then you just stir your bowl up so it'll kind of look like that. Isn't that pretty? So in that bowl, you're also going to take your avocado. Make sure that you have a ripe avocado. It can't not be ripe because you need it to mash. It's going to help in the mashing process. Cypress, you can't put the onion. You can't put the onion in your eye, baby. Put that piece of onion in the fridge for me.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a big spoon, and isn't this avocado gorgeous? Ew. And you'll scoop that whole thing in the bowl of the chopped. Scoop it in the whole bowl of the chopped celery and onions you just did. My eyes are watering, I'm sorry.
And mine are too. Want to make me cry.
And I like to get my hands dirty when I cook. I like to feel the food. So you're just gonna scrape that, and then you'll toss this in the trash. You can't save that.
Ooh.
And even though your hands are gonna get dirty, I constantly wash my hands. Sorry, my eyes are watering. So then your bowl will kind of look like that, right? So then you're gonna take that and you are gonna mash it with your hands. I told you, you gotta get in there. Make sure your hands are clean. Yes, I do this with all my jewelry on. People ask me all the time, do you take it off? Never. And because you're eating fresh and healthy, make sure you get everything off. And then after that, get to lick your fingers. So you wash your hands for that. Now you'll have this beautiful mash. And that is literally just avocado, celery, onion. All right, so you're gonna set that bowl aside. You're gonna get your strainer.
Ooh, can I put that on?
Wait a second. And I promise I'll show you my plastic bag full of frozen vegetables. These are literally just, see? Throw all of that stuff in there. I mean, you see, I put everything in there. I don't care what it is. Throw it in there. It can be eaten. Throw it in there. Because you can use that to make a awesome freaking broth. And put it back in the fridge. The freezer, sorry. So then you will just prep your sink. You're gonna put your strainer in the sink. Rinse your chickpeas and they should look like this. Nice and beautiful. What's gonna happen now is, guess what? You're gonna mash them. So my daughter just asked me, am I making the stuff we have for lunch? I told her yes, that's right. So you take the chickpeas and you literally just mash them.
Ooh, I didn't do that.
No, Mama.
I need to wash.
You want to not mash them. Don't use a food processor. Some people ask me all the time, well, why don't you use just go food processor? You want them chunky. You want part bean in there. You want to get that thickness and chunkiness in there to resemble like a tuna, right? Okay, as I promised, I changed around the camera, and then this is what your chickpeas will look like when you mash. So half mash, kind of half beans. They're pretty soft, and you'll just kind of crunch them up in your hands. Okay. And so now you're gonna grab bowl that you had all your other previous goodies in, and you're gonna take the mashed chickpeas and you're literally gonna put them in the same bowl. You're gonna take a nice big spoon and then you're gonna literally just stir it together.
Yum, yum.
Stirring. No, Mama. Let me do it.
Okay.
I used to think cooking was like the super hard thing, but it's really not. And people ask me all the time, how do you stay vegan and still feel like you're full and healthy? The trick is you got to cook everything. There's no eating out. There's no stopping at fast food, especially when you live in a small town like me. You know, we don't live in LA anymore, so you don't have all these awesome places you can eat. You got to be really creative and make your own food. And so then you'll have this beautiful mash. Look at that. That is the chickpeas, the avocado, the onions, and the celery. And now we're just gonna season it and make it smoother and more fabulous. So I use Veganese and I use the soy-free one most of the time, but they have it at the store, so I got regular this time, original. And then you'll take a big scoop of Veganese. I say, see how big that is? Maybe a scoop and a half. And Cypress, what are you doing?
I'm washing.
You don't have to wash that dish, it's fine. And then you'll just spin that around because you want this really smooth consistency. If you've eaten tuna before or you've seen tuna, you want that same kind of fabulous consistency. I don't use a lot of veganese because I don't want it super creamy. But if you're one of those people that like really creamy food, use 2.5 scoops, you know. So I used about 1.5 scoop, and I'll show you what it looks like after that. And so now I'm just gonna season it.
She's gonna go season it.
So these are the seasonings that I use. Celery salt. I love celery salt. When I'm cooking, I use a lot of pink Himalayan salt. But when you're seasoning something cold, Himalayan salt can be kind of strong. So, sorry, just had to buy a new onion powder. I use celery salt. You feel free to use whatever salt you're interested in or whatever salt that you use mostly. Do you? I'm just telling you what I use. So I don't measure my seasoning. I don't know. That's why it's hard for me to post recipes because I kind of just cook to taste. But you can see how much celery salt, and I'm just going to kind of cover it. And I'll show you the coverage. You see? I don't know if you can see the actual celery salt. And I don't use finely grinded celery salt. I use like whole seeds. Then garlic. And again, just kind of cover the whole thing. And then onion powder. And again, cover the whole thing. Even though we use onions already, you can't never have too much onion. Onion is the flavor of everything. And then you'll just stir that all over again. Not put it in there when I'm making it, but give yourself a little try. That's delicious. And then you put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes so it's cold. Put on some bread or wrap, and you've got vegan tuna or chickpea salad. Have a great one, guys.